Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett, in my hands is Defiant, the story of Robert Smalls from Stranger Comics and Legion M. This is a really interesting comic. So, written by Rob Edwards, interior artist is Damien Hill and Alex Paterson, layout artist is Darrell, colorist is Mauro, Salgado, and Blond. I don't know if it's Mauro, Salgado, Blond, but it's Mauro, Salgado, and then underneath that, Blond. Cover artist is Nicholas Draper-Ivy. Lettering design is Joshua Cozine. So to those who don't know, Robert Smalls was a real person. Born a slave, he eventually attempted to work his way towards freedom, wound up stealing a Confederate boat, brought that boat to the Union, freed a whole bunch of slaves that way. I think we've become a congressman, businessman, like a really impressive life. It's one of those stories that like doesn't feel realistic. It's just so crazy as to what happened and all that. So this is an interesting graphic novel it was a comic series collection of it, but an interesting graphic novel about Smalls' life. But it feels like it's a real small, narrow aspect of it. It talks about a little bit about Smalls. So it's done from Smalls being older, free, has his family around, telling the story of his freedom. And it starts off, a little bit of like about his grandmother, a little bit about him being born into slavery, a little bit about how he grew up, the slave master he had, some of the experiences there, and then eventually how he kind of worked his way up to getting on this Confederate boat, and then eventually the plan to escape with other slaves as well as their families. That story, it's amazing. I'm not knocking that story at all. But to me, Smalls' life is so much grander. Like, you need another volume about him being a congressman and a businessman and like all this stuff. Like it almost feels like it almost narrows and focuses in on his life almost too much. But it is an amazing story. Like I believe there's a film being worked on about it. A lot of people have said like the film is way past due, and I don't disagree. I've known about this story for a really long time, and always been amazed that it's never been made into a film. But it's an interesting story. It's like this isn't a biography. It's not like a really in-depth biography like March was. Going into that, if you're going into that, like that's not what this is. This really is a kind of to get you to the point of like the main show, and the main show of him stealing this boat and getting them to freedom. And it's a hell of a story. Like, don't get me wrong. It is tense. It is amazing what they pulled off. The impact of it and actually like going into detail of it. It is all like jaw-dropping, film-worthy, like action film-worthy. And done right, it should be Oscar-worthy. Like, it is really that amazing of a story. But it is really just that part of it. The framing is interesting. The telling around the family, I like it. But also the framing I think is kind of key in the story, in that like that's what the emphasis is. Like, it's a story not about his life. It is about just this kind of small little aspect of it, and how he was willing to do everything and anything and risk it all for his family. And by doing that, this is what it begat. Like, this was a one where he had kids and grandkids, and like the generations went on. So I think that's kind of the real emphasis of it, is that it's not about the details so much. It's really about the bigger picture of this. That this man did an amazing thing, a ballsy thing, a hell of a thing. Like, it is defiance to the nth degree in a time and an age where we are facing fascism and hatred and bigotry in so many directions from so many different people. Like, this is a tale of defiance, and it's not the action that really matters as much as what it signified, what it begat, what came of it. To me, that was the bigger. I would say I would have liked a little bit more of a tease as to like what happened afterwards, him becoming a congressman, this is like, and kind of go through those details a little bit in some ways. I don't know how you would do it with a narrative like this, but it's the one thing I would have liked. It sounds like it's really researched. In the back, the writer says like he didn't. Smalls couldn't read. He was illiterate for like 23 years. So there's very little actual like written stuff about his life. So it's a lot of verbal stories, and the family and people that knew him and knew his story in detail were consulted for this. So it's well researched. The art of it's great. Like, it is interesting that it doesn't get to the point of complete revulsion like I've seen in some like slave stories, but it does more than enough to really nail down like what he experienced, what he saw. This is kind of the experience of that, but like what drove him to do what he wanted. I think the relationship with him and the slave owner is actually really intriguing, especially a lot of like the body language and facial expressions of that. Overall, it's an amazing story. If you don't know it, check it out. It's inspiring. It's a hell of history. And it's something that should be taught in schools, and it should be on the big screen. Go get it. This is out in shops. We got a link beneath our video. Put in your zip code. Tell the comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We have some links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage. By doing that, you help support our site. And just watching our videos support us as well. So if you are, of course, I want to thank Stranger Comics, Legion M, all that for hooking us up with the review copy. And of course, thank you all for watching. If you're into comics, check us out every day at graphicpolicy.com. And of course, we're on Facebook, TikTok, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics, and damn the man. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.